Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to this week's third in the series from Cooking Up a Conversation with Mary Angela. So if you are signing on to hear today's session, you are in the right place. And in just a few minutes, I'm sure that our guest expert and this week's guest author will be joining us. One of the things that I wanted to let you know is that when you put a question in the question box, that someone will answer it, probably someone from the Mediterranean Diet Roundtable. I get questions in between, and you can always send me a question at maryangela@keepsafefood.com. But one of the questions that I get is, why, if this is cooking up a conversation, don't we do it in your kitchen? And I'm just going to tell you that my kitchen is probably smaller than your closet, and your closet is probably better equipped. And the whole goal of this series is for those of us with limited cooking space and limited cooking skills to make the Mediterranean diet accessible to all of you. So this week, our guest, and I see she's joined us now, Chef Maria Loi, has neither of those. She is well-versed in both cooking and cooking spaces. She has her own restaurant, and she is steeped in Greek lore. We're going to talk about her book, The Greek Diet, which she authored with Sarah Toland. And I just want to tell you, Chef Loi, welcome. And reading your book is like reading the encyclopedia of the Mediterranean diet. So tell us a little bit about your book.
Kalimera, Yasu, to everyone. That I never thought of that like encyclopedia. Actually,
Yes.
I am writing an encyclopedia for these things. How can you understand that? Good morning to everyone.
Yeah.
So I love the MDR. You know that. I
That's
wish
good
that
to know.
I wish that I had thought of that before Daniela and the rest. So I would have created. But anyway, I'm so glad that I'm joining this. So the Greek diet, it's, well, I've written many books, okay? Also, one of my books that I'm very proud about it's the official book for the Athens 2004 Olympic Games.
Oh, I did read about that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, you cannot have it because it's collector's items now. You cannot buy it, and if you go and buy it, it costs like 700 plus. It's
Wow.
very expensive.
So you have
But
written a book that is now a collector's item.
well, yeah, thanks to the Olympics, thanks to the
Thanks to the
Greeks
Olympics.
again.
Well, you know, one of the
So
things that I learned about your book was I love the way that you structured it into 12 pillars. And I read something about each of them. And I chose pillar number 4, which was beans. And let me tell you why I chose that. So I'm here in Columbus, Ohio, the Midwest, correct? So every week I try and ask 10 random people about something I'm reading. And so I asked 10 people about, have they ever cooked with lentils or beans? And 5 of them said no to both. And other than canned beans and chili, I'm in that group. So I wanted you to tell us about that particular pillar, because I think it's like a specialty of yours, is it not?
well, it is. And the beans, like actually the legumes and
The
pulse as
legumes,
we call,
right?
yes, okay. Because for me, are all beans, okay. Even that when I think about lentils or anything, that's the family of the legumes. That beans, lentils, chickpeas, all of that. So I think it's the right thing to eat almost every day
All
for
right.
your health, and especially now that is during the zinc, during the period with COVID, we need the zinc, sevdargilos, how we call it in Greece.
Okay.
But it's not only for COVID period. It has fiber, and if you can say that, it's cost effective as well.
You know,
You said
that's
before,
a good point.
yeah, you said before that you know about the canned beans, all right?
Uh-huh.
They're not bad. They're not bad. Of course, if you take them the organic, or if you go and buy organic beans, the canned beans, but make sure that you rinse them well. So this way you avoid all that salt that it has in there, all that sodium.
Okay. So
And then
that's
it's
good
so
to
easy to
know
cook.
because I had to go looking for well, we're going to talk about 2 recipes today. So one was the lentils, and the second was, is it gigante? Is that how you say it?
Which
Gigante
one?
beans? Yes.
Gigantes. Giant.
Gigantes.
That's what giant.
Yes,
Giant.
yes. So I went looking for gigante beans, went to a Middle East store and I found them. So that was fun. And I bought red lentils. Why? Because they were pretty. But, when I was
Yeah, I have
growing
them
up,
here. The
oh,
gigantes. Yeah,
oh, there
it's
you
my
go.
beans.
Okay. I
Yes.
ate all mine, so I can't show them to you.
That's
Um,
okay. So you
but
can see how big they are. And
they are big.
actually, I can put the other beans so this way you can see the difference.
Oh,
Wait a
show
minute,
us.
because I have that. Yeah. See? I don't know if you can see it, the difference
Okay. And what are the
over
other
there.
ones?
That's the beans, they're like the cannellini beans that you have here in
Okay.
America. But gigantes, I think for me, it's unique product of Greece.
Okay.
And it
Yes.
is.
And mine said
So,
giant Greek beans right on them. So I knew I had the right thing. And I also will tell you that one other reason that I think I have not approached or tried beans in the past, when I grew up, my mother was an outstanding cook, all right, but she was Italian and she only made 2 dishes that I did not like. And both of them had beans in them. So I've avoided beans until your book. So you recommended that I try the lentil soup.
mhm.
And that was very simple to make, right? But it was delicious, but it took me a long time. So one of my tips
Why?
was start it early in the evening because I started that dish at 6 o'clock. And what you
Why?
do is you boil the beans, right? Or simmer them.
Yeah.
And then you saute these other wonderful ingredients. And I think it
Okay.
had tomatoes and carrots. And then you combine them all together with, was it rosemary? And
Yeah, whatever you like. Oregano.
yes,
I have my oregano here that you can put everywhere.
okay,
That's organic.
all right. And then it
Yeah.
smelled really good, right? So it smelled really good. But when I tasted them, I think the word that I would use was this recipe tasted clean. And I know that's overused, but I thought that was delicious. It was like it tasted so fresh, and you can tell there were just a few simple, high quality ingredients in it. So mine turned out much better than the soup I grew up with that had lentils or beans in it. So
Let me tell you, why it took you so long? Let me ask you.
well, all right. So one is I don't think I put it in a big enough pot to start with. So that was just the learning lesson on my part. And then I was worried that they wouldn't be tender enough, so I might have cooked them a little too long.
It's
But that's
okay.
part of just the learning, the
You can
learning.
do that. But the lentils, first of all, you don't have to soak them.
Okay.
Even that did you soak them before?
I know. I think I had the gigante beans soaking while I was cooking the lentils. All
Yeah.
right.
So people, like the gigantes, they need, to be soaked. But the
Okay.
lentils, like my mother did actually, she did soak the lentils. But you know why? Because she
Why is
wanted
that?
to be very clean, all
Ah,
the dirt out, and that was good.
okay.
But for me, let me show you something that I use today. My
Sure.
friend Kelly Vlahakis, I use this that I clean, my all vegetables. So it's so good. I don't know if you can see it.
All right.
It's Ecos, yeah, Ecos, and it's everything organic. That I just wash them just a bit, with this, and you get
Okay.
all the dirt out, and you're positive, you have no any toxins from the environment around.
There you
But
go.
it's good. But lentils, no. You just need like less than an hour to make it. Sorry
So,
that you went through that.
well, that's why I'm a beginner, and that's why we have you here. My other question is, though, I made a huge pot. So I have literally 3 containers. I have 12 inches of leftover soup. What do you recommend? Is there anything else I can do with it to vary it up, or just any suggestions for how to use my leftover soup?
Of course, you can just blend them, or
Okay.
yeah, and then you turn it into a dip. You add onion, whatever you like.
Oh, I love that
Yes,
idea. Okay.
yeah. Add
All
some
right.
olive oil on it, and that's it. And also you can strain them,
All
and
right.
then you can make a lentil salad.
I never thought about making a lentil salad with the leftover soup. All right.
Or
But
I
we,
don't remember which page I have some patties, with the lentils. I don't remember
uh-huh.
which page in the book, but I'm not going to check it now.
That's okay.
Because, yeah, it's in the Greek diet, like the red lentils are amazing to
Oh,
make
good.
patties, and you can mix it with cheese. You can make patties, with cheese. You can make patties like with mushrooms, with anything. You don't have to follow exactly what I say in the book. Follow your heart, as I said, and change the recipes all the time. And that's my little friend Beckett, we work together in this kind of recipes. He's 9 years old, genius, Beckett
Okay.
Potter. Yeah. And he says, as Chef Lloyd said, if you don't like it, change it. So change it according to your taste. Everything, every recipe.
Well, I will try that because, like I said, I had some for lunch the next day, but I still have quite a bit in my freezer. All right, I want to maybe talk a minute about the next recipe, which is it was the gigante
Yes.
beans with fresh spinach. So this
Here.
one, I think I was a little more successful with. I put the
Yeah.
beans in the night before, and then the next day you simmer them while you are, first you boil them, then you simmer them, and then you add them to this sauteed mix. And let me see what
Mm-hmm.
else I had in that list. There was, I think, garlic and dill and onions and celery, and then you bake it. All right.
Yes, easy.
Yes. And then what I really like, because I'm a dietitian, once you were finished baking it, you add that other, what I call the secret ingredient, a whole pound of fresh spinach.
Yep.
So it adds a whole nutrition punch to it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, is that a picture?
See, yeah. No,
Beautiful.
that's I made it for you today to see it.
Oh,
Actually,
wonderful.
I
I wish
didn't
I
make
was
it for
there.
you. We have it in our restaurant. Let me say the truth. I got it from my restaurant.
Well, I wondered about that, which ones you served in the restaurant. So let me ask you two questions about this, or two things that I need to learn. One thing that surprised me, I love red onions, and I use them a lot in salads, etc. But I never cooked with them. I usually use them fresh. I was surprised how mild they became when I cooked them, and that they were delicious in this recipe. So that was fun. But
I
the other,
always add red onions. Always.
okay,
I love
yes,
red onions.
yeah, I love them too, but I'll use them more in cooking now. But the other thing that you said in your book to do was to grate the tomatoes. Now, let me just tell you, I made a mess when I grated tomatoes. You should have seen me trying to grate the tomatoes.
It's
Um,
easy.
well, do you grate the skins too, or I just had tomato shreds everywhere. Is there something else I can do besides grate those tomatoes?
If you want, use a grater, okay? You just
Okay,
hold the tomato from one side and go like this. And the skin, it holds it together.
okay,
But you have a mixer or anything. You don't have to do that,
okay.
okay? You
Yeah,
just.
I was trying to be authentic. I was trying to look at your book. Now,
It's okay. And you know what else you can do, with that tomatoes that they were around, your plate. You can put
okay,
them in the bowl, and when you clean garlic or anything, you just go like this, you wash your hands,
all
and the
right,
smell goes away.
all right. You know what else was interesting? Because I had never eaten these beans before. When I soaked them and then I simmered them, and I tasted some that were plain just before I put them, they were delicious. I mean, with nothing on them, not a hint of oil, not a hint of salt or pepper. The flavor was really kind of nutty, and you could just eat them plain. I think they were so good.
You said it all. And when you have the giant beans or any beans, it
Okay.
doesn't have to be the giant beans
Mm-hmm.
because we have it in my book. You can cook any beans like that, the same way. And also halfway, when they are cooked, you can
Okay.
take them out and you can make a salad with it.
All right.
It's so good. You can add tomatoes, you can add green, but don't forget the dill. Dill goes perfect in that salad.
So how much dill? Because it says a bunch of dill, and my grocery store only has little bunches. Is that enough, or should I put a number or 2 or 3 bunches in?
Maybe they are not Greeks in your little store there. But if they are from southern Italy or from Greece, they will put 2 of those little bunches.
All right. So, yeah, I was wondering if I was shorting myself on the dill. Now, show me your recipe again. Do you still have the dish there? I want to take a look at that.
The beans? Yeah.
The beans.
Yeah.
Okay. Because one of the things that I thought when
Yeah.
I assembled my casserole, you know what it reminded me of? When I grew up, we called it gnocchi. My grandmother used to come over and we made these little gnocchi. It almost looked like my giant beans looked like gnocchi in that casserole. And it just like, if I didn't know better, I would think they were gnocchi.
That's good.
Yeah. Anyway. Now, I will tell you that unlike the lentil soup, we had a tug of war about who would get the leftover beans. So because I served that to some guests and everybody wanted the beans because I soaked and I simmered more than we needed in the recipe. And one friend took them home and they, even with the cooked beans, made a salad the next day with arugula and lime, and
amazing.
Was delicious. So those beans,
thank you.
Every bean we used, and it was fun to have them plain. It was fun to have them in your dish, and it was fun to have them as leftovers. Now you mentioned how, you know, to be cost effective, you could have beans every day.
Yes.
The other thing as a dietitian, we always struggle with getting enough fiber, and lentils and beans and legumes in general are just a tremendous source of fiber. So that is something that I'll have to remember, because most of us should try and get about 25 grams of fiber a day. And I feel like every day I'm climbing that fiber mountain. It's so hard to get enough fiber in your diet. But these can give you 5 to 8 grams of fiber in just a small serving. So from a nutrition standpoint, I mean, that was a huge win. What do you think?
Oh, I'm all about beans. You know, I eat beans every day, and especially the mavromatica that we have. It's the small beans that they come from Greece. Is they have like a small black eye.
Okay.
And as they say, doctors, the research now out there, that it says that it's lower cholesterol.
Okay. Yes, because the fiber can help do that. And in my family, we worry about that. So what are the name of those beans again?
Mavromatica, black eye beans, not peas, black eye peas that you have here. Black eye beans, mavromatica.
All right. And how do you cook those when you have them, say, if you want to have them every day?
Just every day, I just cook them, like boil them.
Okay.
I soak them before, I boil them, and then I add my olive oil here. Awarded olive oil. I'm so proud of it. It's awarded. See, Sophie Award, best new product.
I love that.
It comes from Crete.
Okay.
I had to say sorry to Italians.
Well, we embrace all the Mediterranean countries here.
Yes, that's what I mean. No. Actually, my last name is Italian, so that's why I'm fun, saying that. Right. So, yeah. And you just add some oregano or lemon juice, the way you like it.
Okay.
But make sure that you have, what I'm doing every day, I have it in my refrigerator.
All right.
So I take like 4 or 5 spoons of that.
Okay.
And if I have a salad, I add it to my salad. Otherwise, I just put some more olive oil and in a cup and I eat it. It's so easy.
All right. And the other advantage is that the beans will keep a long time in your pantry. So you don't have to worry about going to the store every day to get fresh ingredients, right? I mean, they're a shelf staple. I just can't imagine what your pantry looks like. How many kinds of beans and legumes do you have in your pantry? There we go.
And more.
We need a bigger screen so you can just show us your
Yes,
layout,
I know. I know.
It's so hard to do on a phone. All right. So you mentioned that you serve the gigante
yeah.
beans in your restaurant. Are there any other recipes in this book that you highly recommend, or that are so good that you serve them in your restaurant, or that I should try next now that I've tackled
Bean
lentils
soup.
and beans?
Bean soup,
Oh,
bean salad. Yeah, the
okay.
little ones. Okay.
All
And
right.
what I do in the bean soup, of course, I always add oregano like that.
Okay.
Oh my God. Smells so, immediately comes up here. And also, I add olive oil
Okay.
and some lemon juice. That's it. And it's so good for you. I have like almost my team, they have almost every day fasolada, bean soup. And it's the national dish of Greece, It's not
Okay.
the moussaka that they think that it is. Yeah, can you hear? I can see, I don't know if you can see it.
How many dishes did you make for us today?
I
I
can
don't,
make more. These are my everyday dishes. I didn't
I
make
love it.
anything special, but thank you for doing that because you will teach people how to eat healthy.
Well, we,
It's
we try
so,
to do that. And part of the goal with this series too is every week when I look at a book and I choose the recipes, I'm trying to try at least one new ingredient. Okay. So that, because like you mentioned, you grew up in Greece, correct? And I
yep.
grew up here in Ohio, but my exposure to the Mediterranean diet was strictly Italian because that was my mom. So what I'm having fun
Well, it
with
was good.
is trying these other cuisines. And again, the beans that we had were just not good like the Greek beans. I'm just going to be honest with you. So we'll talk
Well,
about that. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about your restaurant? I'd love to come and visit when we can do that again.
Lois Teatorio is in the heart of Manhattan.
Okay.
And it's 1 block away from the park. And that's easy for me, to walk there every day because
Mm-hmm.
I live near here as well. So I don't want to say it's unique, but it is unique because we use organic,
Okay.
Brenda. We don't fry food. We don't use butter, only olive oil. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, that is the awarded olive oil the best. Okay. And we bring the fish from Greece. How can you go wrong with that?
Yeah. No, it sounds wonderful.
Yeah. And we have our customers. The only problem that we have with Lois Teatorio is that we don't have enough tables because our customers, no, we have enough tables actually. And thank the government, whatever it is, that they gave us from New York, that they gave us the outside, the outdoors dining. It's
Okay.
amazing. And it's as it should be every year, not only for 1 year, okay, because people love it. But our customers, they have their own tables. So we
Oh,
have to give
okay.
them every day for them.
I love it.
So,
And for those of us who can't get to New York and perhaps can't find a seat at your table, we can try recipes from this book. And what other books do you mention that you have done?
oh, we have many, but this is what they need. That's
Okay.
all. That's
This is
what they need now.
all right. So we can
It's,
tackle all 12 pillars, even though we only did one today. The other thing I thought was funny is, or interesting, is you said that several things had their own food groups, like wine. Now, I really wanted to try the wine pillar, but I figured that I better stick to the beans for the purposes of our talk
one
today.
day we have to speak about wine, the
Well, we
Greek
could
wine.
actually, we could actually, right, we could do a week on every one of these pillars, and I'm sure you
Okay.
could teach us something every single week that we didn't know. But
I am
anyway,
here for that. I would
I
love
love it.
that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite pillar besides beans?
Well, beans, olive oil is for me because I said cutting here, olive oil will bleed out.
I love it.
It's
I
much,
love it.
but it's not. But you cannot have only olive oil and you say, oh, I have my olive oil. I'm following the Mediterranean diet. No, you're not. And as I said to my friends, you start with olive oil, 2 tablespoons of olive oil in the morning. And they said, that's enough. I said, no, it's not enough. You have to add it on your fish. You have to add it on your salad. You have to add it on your hair, on your body when you go take a bath. Yes, olive oil is for
So
everything for me.
tell me about the 2 tablespoons. Do you take a shot of olive oil every morning?
well, people that they cannot take the tablespoon, like they think it's different.
All
I
right.
gave them small shot glasses, and they're doing that. I said, here, take the olive oil and take the shot glass. And they're
There,
doing it. And they come back and they say that how good they feel.
there you go. There you
It's
go.
so beautiful to hear that. Also with the beans, we had the fasolada challenge, during the pandemic,
Uh-huh.
the heart of the pandemic. I was sending to my people when they were ordering food, I was sending also a cup of fasolada, the bean soup. So everyone in Midtown here that we were delivering food, they had the bean soup. And now they're hooked on that. They can't stay without it. Like every day they want the bean soup. So, but this is good for their health.
Well, it is good for your health. And,
Yeah.
that's part of what we want this to be as well. So anyways,
I
my
have to say hello
takeaway,
to someone here from Greece because Harris. Hi, Harris. I saw your name. See, he's so many, many
oh,
good
that's
friends. But
wonderful.
Harris,
Yeah, we've got
Harris is amazing.
some
Yeah,
of your friends
Yasu
from
Harris.
Greece signing on.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we have a few
Thank
minutes
you.
left before we close up.
Okay.
But I really want to thank you. I mean, I learned a lot from this, right? I learned what kind of
Thank you.
beans now that I love that I would have never tried before. And those were the gigante beans. I think I need bigger pots because the beans expand.
And you
And
know what? You can cook all in a big pot, and then you put it in small containers and
okay,
freeze them
yeah, there
after
you go.
when you make them colder. Okay.
All right. And we covered the pillar, the bean or the legume pillar today with Chef Maria Loi. And I've learned that I don't have to grate my tomatoes if I don't need to. So I won't make a mess in my kitchen. Next week, we're going to talk with Joanne Weir, and we're going to try some Spanish dishes and maybe some Middle East and Turkish dishes and maybe North Africa. So we're going to go in a whole different direction. But do you have any final recommendations for us before we close today, Chef Maria?
Yes. You just do and cook whatever you like.
All right.
Don't follow anything else. And also, have a good coffee. Well, it might be Greek coffee or it might be Italian coffee. I love Illy coffee as well. Have a cup of coffee while you're cooking, or have a glass of wine while
There
you're
you
cooking.
go. All right.
Don't just be stressed. You're going to make all this food easier.
So if you have the right beverage, you will make your cooking easier. And if you
Yes.
start the day with a shot of olive oil, you will be healthier. And if you have beans once a day, you will have more fiber in your diet. That's a wonderful,
Yes.
I think that's a wonderful summary from the Greek diet. And it's also a good way to incorporate pillar number 4, beans and legumes into our diet. Thanks, Chef Maria. It was great talking with you today.
Thank you. Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Have a good one. Bye,
Yasu.
everyone. And thank
Bye.
you for listening to Cooking Up a Conversation with Chef Maria Loi from the Mediterranean Diet Live Kitchen Stories. Bye now.